Good morning. I hope you're all comfortable. Yeah, those pillows are actually surprisingly breathable. I'm going to do a quick hair and scalp evaluation before we get to the massage. I just want to be aware of your hair in general. I'm going to go ahead and start touching and looking. I put on some cloth gloves because I want to check the health of your hair without doing any damage. A lot of the vinyl nitrile gloves, they catch your hair. They can cause breakage and like split ends if you're not careful with them. These gloves, they slide right over your hair without causing any damage. So we're just going to start by evaluating. I'm going to be looking closely. Yeah, so I'm looking for any sort of breakage. I'm not trying to break your hair, but I'm also kind of seeing if it breaks easily. Kind of checking for oil content. And just in general, also trying to, give you a pleasant experience. This is all part of the treatment. And it is all supposed to be nice and relaxing. So I think we're going to want to use some rosemary oil for the massage portion. I'm getting some dryness right here. And I'm just taking a look at the side here. Okay, let me grab my light. Just want to make sure that I'm seeing everything that needs to be seen here. Well, different parts of our head can have different levels of health, actually. It's a large enough organism. It's a large enough organ that, you can be having no problems on this side and problems on this side. So I can't just, check one place on your scalp and say, this is how it is. I want it to be thorough. So right here by your nape, we like to do what we call a flutter massage, but I think that I might want to use a different oil when I do that, because I'm seeing this actually, there's no dryness at all. This is a perfect amount of skin moisture. I couldn't think of the right word for that. Sorry, skin moisture is kind of not the most ideal term. We can probably just use some almond oil right here. Or I like coconut too. But right here we're seeing more dryness. It's not bad. When I say there's some dryness, your scalp looks exceedingly healthy, actually. Your hair, there's barely any breakage. Like when I The strands look really, really healthy. You've got a little bit of like split ends on the ends here, but that's really normal, especially when you get hair of your length that I don't think's been cut in a while. But this is impressive how soft that is. I wish my hair did that. We might do a little bit of scalp scratching as part of the treatment, if you're okay with that. That's something, obviously, you can refuse any parts of this treatment that you want, but it might feel nice to get some of this extra skin off here. It looks like I could use a little bit of exfoliation on the top of your head here. Right there. Probably want to scratch a little bit there too. Okay. Like I said, your scalp and your hair look very, very healthy. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed with the massage part. I'll choose out my oils over here. But the rest of this is supposed to be relaxing. I'm going to do a little bit of scratching first, just to get those spots that are particularly plaquey off right here. We'll start with something a little scratchier than that. Here. Right here, there's a good spot. Yeah, I'll take off my gloves when we do the oils. At that point, we'll be putting oil into your hair, and I don't need to protect you from my oil anymore. Kind of got really small teeth on it. It does a really good job very gently scratching at the scalp without doing any damage to the hair, because a lot of these treatments can be really bad for the top parts of the hair here. Thankfully, you have very strong strands that appear to be compact and they don't have any of it. I don't know if you ever saw those Pantene Pro V commercials where they show you the hair and it's like, split, 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 split. Yours doesn't look like that. It looks very smooth. That's the word I was looking for. Rough was the word I was looking for. Okay, this spot's looking really good. Yeah, it feels really nice to get the fresh air on that part of the skin, as it were. seem to get it by the sides here and just on the back of your head right here around near the crown. Your nape looks really healthy, so we won't need to scratch there at all. Mostly for relaxation, honestly. This treatment is focused more on your mental well-being rather than your physical well-being. I think that's honestly very important to take care of your health in that way. I wouldn't work in an industry like this if I didn't strongly believe that we should all be doing a little more self-care. Is this gentle enough on your scalp? Good. Yeah, this tool is really wonderful. It kind of combs your hair just a little bit too, the way that it works. Spot right here, and then the one down by your left ear, and then we'll get to the massage portion. There's a lot of different techniques. It's not like typical massage. When you're doing a head massage, there's no muscles in your head, right? There's nothing to work out that way. It's a lot more about connecting the physical sensation to your mental well-being. It can be good for your scalp and your hair, and it is, but it's okay to do things that just feel good, that just make you feel good. There we go. Okay. I'm going to start with just some light massages in these gloves. And we'll move on to ones that involve some tools. But we like to do kind of a neck and nape massage first. I'm going to go a little bit faster with my fingers. It's just going to be super fluttery. It can tickle just a little bit. can put a little pressure on your neck if you like. That can sometimes be relaxing to the muscles in the neck, but I tend to focus on really light sensation. Okay, the next treatment we're going to do is another massage type treatment. We're going to be using two different tools on your head. One of them is a pressure tool, okay, with little nubbins on it, okay? It'll feel like this. The other one, we have to part your hair for so that we don't catch the hair in it. It's going to be a puncture tool. I don't want you to be nervous about the word puncture. It has tiny little spines on it, okay? And it's going to feel like this. It's going to just lightly prick your skin along your scalp. It won't draw blood. It won't be painful in any way. It might make your scalp a little warm, okay? It'll feel like that. How's that? Is that okay? Okay. Yeah, it'll itch a little bit, but I'll go back over it with the pressure tool and that'll help, okay? So, we'll start on this side of your head. I'm just going to part your hair. My comb here. And my parting tool. Okay, get my comb. I always like to make a very clean part because the puncture tool can be just a little bit grabby if I'm not careful. I am careful, so you have nothing to worry about. Okay, we're going to start with the puncture. Just going to lightly essentially walk it along your scalp like this. Well, we're going to do all of the puncturing first, and then we're going to do the pressure, okay? Here we go. next part. There we go. Here we go. Gently walking it up your scalp. Yeah, you can think of it like dancing. Not a very good dance, but... Okay. Are you itching at all? Okay, great. Yeah, it doesn't itch everybody, just when you do minor abrasions in people's skin, immediately the body wants to start healing it, and the healing process can be a little itchy. There we go. Well, some people's hair follicles go in weird directions, and I'm having a little trouble with yours parting it properly. And I just want to go all whirligig everywhere. Like a swirly thing. I guess you have like, when you think about fingerprints and the shapes they come in, yours is the spirally one. That's the way your hair is. And part your nape properly there. Nape hair. There we go. Every time I try to change it, it goes wild on me. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. So your last part here, and then we'll move on to the pressure tool. Now we don't need to part the hair as much for the pressure tool, but we'll part it a little bit so the hair doesn't get in the way of it getting on your scalp. How does that feel? I really like this tool personally. Actually, I booked one of my coworkers to do it for me for just an entire half hour. The Roly tool. Well, it has just enough of a bump on it that you can feel the pressure difference on your skin, but the bump's not so large that you can feel it on your skull, because there's only just a small layer of skin between the air and our skulls. There's no muscle under here on your skull. So unlike with regular massage, you have to be super gentle about what kinds of techniques you use on the skull. And this is just the perfect amount of pressure on the skin. I'm going to use it on your nape just a little bit, okay? Like on your neck too. Does that feel okay? Good, good. We like to do upward pressure first, and then we like to do downward afterward. So we start by pulling it all up into the crown of the head. From right there. And then I'm going to hold your hair okay. Next thing we're going to do is brush. It's a very, very light brush. This isn't to brush out your hair at all. This is brushing your scalp and your ear. Just like that. There's no real reason to do 3, but for some reason that feels right to me. How about we do 4 that time? I wonder how 3 became the number that it became, culturally speaking. I wonder if it was baseball. What came first? How's this feeling? I try to pay attention to the body language of my clients. I don't always ask if people are okay, if I can feel that they're fine, but you're your first time client for me, so I don't know your body language well yet. Keep coming to me and I won't have to talk to you at all if you don't want. I'll just learn what it is that you want and don't want. Okay, next tool. I'm just going to be doing a little, what feels like searching through your hair, but I'm just searching and gently tapping with my sticks, okay? Just little acrylic lollipop sticks, actually. Really, anything is a tool if you want it to be. Well, it's important for us to, since we're so focused on sensation, we want each one of our tools to be a different kind of sensation, right? So we have a pressure tool that puts rolling pressure on your head. We have a pricking tool that puts light pinprick touches. Then this is another type of pressure tool, but with a wider base to the tool so that it's putting a wider amount of, it's like a mix between pricking and pressure, you know? Then we have the brushing tool, and really, if you come back for another one of these, we have an unbelievable amount of tools with all kinds of different sensations. People tend to develop their favorites and then just come in and get those over and over again. Like me, I love the Rolly tool so much. But I'm also really partial to the brush. I go back and forth on them. Yeah, that's coming next. We do, classic hands too. We just save that for the end because usually it kind of helps put people to sleep. It's the lightest sensation, the most relaxing. So once you've kind of felt all of the nerves in your head, we move on to the thing that puts you to sleep. Which we're going to do now. I chose out your oil. This is just to help my hands glide smoothly over your hair because I don't want to do any damage to it. And it smells nice and it's good for your hair too. But we try to do as little damage to your hair as possible. Just making sure that's closed all the way. And now I'm just going to just going to run my fingers through your hair to distribute the oil and gently put pressure on your scalp and fingertips and whatnot. I'm going to use a lot of little techniques. When we're done here, the room is yours for as long as you like. And we won't wake you, okay? We're open for another 8 hours and we're not using this room, so feel free to just fall asleep.